Hi again, Soul Infused Monday. Facebook kicked me out, so I don't know if this is going to work or not. But like every Monday, I'm here on the Soul Infused Monday show, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern. And I don't know what's happening with Facebook. It gives me an error. So if you do see and hear me right now, please leave me a comment. I don't know what's going on right now, but for some reason, I was already talking and then it kicked me out and it kicked me out again. So I'm just gonna talk and keep talking. And today it's really about being real, being transparent, talking about real life shit. And I was tuning in this morning when I was meditating this morning. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have something planned out for this show today. I was like, what's relevant right now? What's important? What's going on in the world, in my world, in my clients' world, in the world out there, with women, with men. And I wanted to be like super, super real and share certain things that are going on in my life that are relevant, that are also a collective piece of it. And again, Facebook kicked me out. If you're just joining in, welcome to the Soul Infused Monday show. And please leave me a comment below. Oh, I see and hear you. Hi, Jean. Okay, people are jumping in. So it seems like to be working right now. Awesome. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Tine, Jean, Mareike. I can say it in German. I was saying Mareike. Charisma, Kashani. Hi, Kathy. I didn't even recognize it right away. Hello from Saarbrücken, Germany. Gail and Dorleen. Okay, awesome. Please keep posting comments, because that's the way I know that this is actually working. And I had sent out an email out this morning to a few people asking them to join today, because I felt like what I wanted to share is super important right now, and I don't even know where it's going to go and how it's going to go. And yet I feel right now this world always needs it. But it's really about transparency, about connection, about honesty, about being real. And there is so much stuff out there. I was looking, I'm not a big Instagram person, and I was going through Instagram and yesterday, and there are a lot of ads, you know. I mean, you know Instagram maybe better than I do, or maybe not. And nearly every ad that was showing up on my feed was some sort of doing something to look better, to change your appearance, to be conform with a certain idea of how we should look like, especially for women. But I know this is, you know, we are conditioned, men and women. But it really made me think, like, what the hell, you know, like it's feeding upon the not being good enough, feeding on the inner criticism, feeding on your body should look a certain way. There's so many ads. I don't know if it's just me, but lately it's like they're coming out from all over the place about stuff to cover your curves, things that I don't even know the names. Who comes up with this stuff? Pads to put on your boobs so that lift you up so that they don't hang and it looks different. Things to cover up your marks, to basically change who you are in order to pretend to look a certain way that maybe society or magazines or who the hell comes up with it, that to look different, and therefore gives us an idea that we are more valuable or we look better. And I am conditioned the same way. So this is getting to me. I'm ranting a little bit, but it's just like, I know what it takes. I've been on the journey for 22 years. I've been doing deep, deep inner work for 22 years. So I know one thing or two. And I'm going to share a little bit of my story in case you have not heard it. And if you did hear it already, just tune in. What relates to you? And I think it's important because it's easy to think, oh yeah, it's easy to say now, but I come from a background of severe self-hatred, of severe depression, hating my body, hating myself, being in emotional distress in such a severe way. There were times in my life that I wanted to take my life away. And nobody ever wants to really take their lives away. We just want to numb the pain, or we just feel so disconnected. so distorted, so full of shame that we want to hide and we isolate. And in isolation, pain grows even stronger. And I think I'm bringing this up today because there's so much beauty in the world, and there's so much love and so much consciousness. And at the same time, there's so much pain, there's so much shame and isolation. And I know exactly what it means when you are caught up in this stuff and you literally only want to hide and you don't want to be seen, and we do isolate ourselves. So whoever needs to hear this today, know you're not alone. No matter what's going on, your story matters. You matter, especially as who you are being, and not for what you look like or for what you perform. And you think this is easy for me right now? It is actually super challenging as well. Like, I have been, and I don't even want to use the word struggle anymore, because came a long, long way. And even in moments of pain and suffering, depression that I have felt the last few days, I've been massively overeating. My skin looks like crap. Like, my skin is breaking out in a way that hasn't been since I was a teenager. And to show up without any makeup, honest, transparent, do you think my personality wants to go out there and expose myself and the risk of being judged and looked at? No, no one wants to do that. And yet I consider myself a light worker, and I have a responsibility. And even though part of me does not want to do this, who I am being, my soul, my love, my heart wants to do it, because I know even if I touch one person today, if I inspire, I have my Inspire t-shirt on, if I inspire one person only today to really tune in and to be yourself and to dare to share your story, to dare to be seen when you want to hide, I know this will make a difference in the world. So when I was tuning in this morning and I was thinking about what am I going to talk about today, if there's only one thing you're taking out of this today, is who you are right now, this second, who you are being, who you are as the essence of who you are, not the stuff, not the programming, the beliefs, the conditioning, the collective pressure. And it's so painful. Because I'm such a highly sensitive person, and I am a light worker, and I'm doing this work, I am connected to the world constantly. And I know how painful it is when we feel like there's so much pressure to perform, so much pressure to be a certain way. And then we compare ourselves. Fuck social media sometimes, really. It's like, I love social media and I hate social media at the same time, because it creates so much good. And here's the danger, and I want you to be aware of it, okay? If you, and I don't know if this even more, I experience that more for me on Instagram than on Facebook, but maybe it's just because of the people that I'm connected with that don't, it doesn't matter, blah, blah. Everything is perfect. Everybody looks perfect. Everybody has their shit together all the time. Also in my industry, a lot of teachers, a lot of coaches, a lot of healers, and a lot do not agree with me to show myself this way and to really tell the truth about, just because, you know, not just. When you do the deeper inner work, and you get to do the work, by the way, you cannot think your way out of the slavery of conditioning. You cannot think your way out of the deep ingrained patterns of not feeling good enough or being pressured. You cannot read your way out of it. You gotta do the work. And when you do the work, that doesn't mean that you don't get to deal with other stuff anymore. I still experience pain, shame, fear, and here's the beauty. Here's the beauty that I can say right here in this very moment, when I'm going through a really, really challenging time. And at the same time, I do believe it's maybe one of the most important processes in my life. A next level of freedom and liberation from the slavery of conditioning and programming and pressure, and to allow yourself to be who you are and to love yourself and be worthy for who you are being, and not for you, how you look and what you do. And I invite you to tune in every day and connect and see what is my truth, and to understand and embrace. Here's super important. Listen to this, super important. And maybe you might have heard this before. I have heard it many times. I've said it a million times, and yet it can sink deeper every time. We live, as long as you are a human being, as long as you are in this experience, whatever your belief system is, I don't care what your belief system is. I am very clear on my experience. It's not only a belief, but I am more than this physical body, even though there's so much attachment, so much judgment, and so much resistance. And as long as we're in this experience, we will live a life of duality, period. Being on this planet Earth, being as a light worker, as a soul, as a conscious being, as an energy being, whatever you want to call it, as a divine being, you will experience duality, and that's why we are here. Because that's where we experience this. That's how we learn. And imagine for a moment you take judgment out of the equation. Think of something you are dealing with right now in some way, challenging in some way. Give you an example just because what comes up for me: overeating, depression, anxiety, shame, fear, like whatever it is. Think of one thing that you're struggling with yourself, that's something that's challenging in your life, or has been maybe. Maybe it's something you've been working on for years. Tune into that for a moment and just imagine there would be no judgment around it. No judgment. How would that be? Because what we're dealing with is not the problem. It's our judgment and our resistance and our attachment for it to change again. Not understanding that we live in duality. There is no love without hate. There is no light without darkness. There is no pressure without relaxation. It's always we live in a world of duality, and that's totally fine. And we need both. And as long as we live here, it's like we are not fighting with the waves. We are not judging necessarily the trees in the forest and saying, oh, you don't look this way. You should look different. Your body shape is not how it should be in order for you to be worthy or lovable. And as sooner as you can embrace and accept the beauty of it all, that there's beauty in pain, that there is value in sadness, that there's even value in friction. And if you put the judgment away and you allow yourself as much as you can to be with yourself, to love yourself, to honor yourself in that moment, liberation is the reward. And even though, and it's still fascinating to me, I'm still in it. It's like, even though I'm going through something that I've gone many times in my life, and this time I'm choosing to deal with it differently. Because to this point, and I'm honest, to this point, there is somewhere this deep ingrained conditioning, program, belief that I gotta look a certain way to be loved. And I know, not from a conscious level, makes no sense, but it's still operating. And as soon as I fall back into some depression, overeating, and I gain weight and my skin looks all cracked, it's like, ooh, I want to hide. And there's a resistance. There's a resistance of fully embracing it 100%. To have radical acceptance and love and enjoy my life. So I'm in that process, and I can honestly say, genuinely, that even though it's challenging and shameful, and while I was driving to the gym this morning, I was triggered and I was crying, and I didn't try to hide it, I didn't try to change it, and I felt good at the same time. And when my trainer opened the door and said, how are you doing today? And I was like, that's a big question. Intense was the word that came out for me. I mean, I feel intense. I feel strong. I feel challenged. I feel scared. And I felt in the same way so free to be able to be with all, and it was a lot of work. So the inner work really works. So I've been rambling here, ranting here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up. And I would love to check some of your comments. If you have any specific questions, comments, let me know. Does it resonate with you? What are you hearing me say? The one thing, I'm doing these shows for you. I enjoy them. I enjoy them. And I always love being with you, no matter the state of being, but I really do them, for you. And I believe every time I feel like, this is not important, or I don't want to do it, I don't feel like doing it, what drives me is knowing deep inside that there's one person and I might never speak to that person. I will never know that I changed someone's life. And I still know that one person is out there who feels lonely, who feels ashamed, who is hiding, and who is affected by all that stuff. And for that one person, it's so worthwhile to do it. And these are not tears of pain. I'm just laughing. It's like I'm so touched, and I'm so passionate, and sometimes I lose track of things because I get caught up in my own shit. And I choose to consciously keep doing it because you can change one person's life. So if you've not shared your story, if you've not dared to let yourself be seen and let someone in, do whatever it takes, because this world is such a wonderful, beautiful, there's so much beauty and love, and we're so conditioned to focus on the bad. And you have so much power. All of us have so much power. And every single person in this world has their own battle. Don't be fooled by looking at social media or following those. And it's not that there's something wrong with it. I have times that I'm just flying. I'm riding the wave of joy, happiness, and freedom, and I don't struggle. And then there's another wave that comes, because don't be fooled. Everyone out there has their own battle. And the more we are all transparent, and the more we share what's really real, and you open up and you let someone in, I truly believe this world would be such a more joyful, beautiful, loving space to be. And the pain out there comes out of ignorance, isolation, pain, hurt, pressure. And you are the only one responsible for your own life and for your own happiness and for whatever you're creating in this world. And you have a responsibility for yourself, and therefore you also contribute to the world. So, woof, I have no idea what I'm going to say today. Now I'm going to take a few moments to check the comments, and I'm going to stay here with you guys for any questions you might have, for any comments you might have. And if you think this today will benefit anyone, if you know someone who might need to hear this, just share it with them. It's not going to hurt anyone. It's not going to hurt anyone. So let me see. Is it landing? Is it resonating with you? Talk to me. I really want to know. Amber, hi Amber. It's here. So gosh, like, give me a second and just take a nice deep breath while we're doing that. Woo. Amber said, I noticed no makeup. You are still 100% gorgeous. Thank you. I applaud you. Thank you. Appreciate it. I agree. Thank you, Natalie. Good morning, Sonia. Hi, Melissa. Great to have you live. I beat myself up as I think I am less intelligent than others. Oh my God, thank you for being honest and transparent, Jean. And oh my God, who can relate to her? I beat myself up as I think I am less intelligent than others. That constant inner criticism compared with perfectionism, comparison is truly a prison that you can set yourself free out. And by opening it up first, by acknowledging what is, by embracing what is, without fighting, without resistance, without judgment, and you really allowed yourself to be seen and in a safe environment. You don't want to just talk to someone random. You wanna open up with someone that's really either has gone the way and knows the path, and or you trust 100% that you can be yourself without getting like judgment or advice, or they want to fix you. Everybody wants to fix everything. What if you listen? What if you hold space instead and you invite someone to be with what is, to heal it, reveal it? And shame is one of the worst things to deal with. And so thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing and opening up so beautifully. Freedom is the reward, Charisma. Yeah, freedom is the reward. Liberation, being yourself is the reward. Staying open is the reward. Staying loving, because we cannot judge ourselves or isolate ourselves without closing ourselves up, and that creates even more isolation. Vanessa is saying, pain and sadness have given me more lessons than happiness and love. Yeah, of course, I love it, Vanessa. I value my darkness the same way I value my life. Beautiful. There should be space for everything in us. We just need to embrace it. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Sonia, as always, you are perfect and beautiful. Much love. Oh my God. Archie, I so appreciate it. I'm certainly not perfect. I mean, maybe in the spiritual, esoteric way of saying things, yes, I am. Thank you. And at the same way, I am perfectly imperfect. Vanessa, 22. What do you mean by 22? Maybe, it's a comment from later. Hi, watching from Kenya. Hi, Jill. What are you doing in Kenya? That's fantastic. I love having you. We are all interconnected. Yes, we are all interconnected. Tina's saying, yes, it resonates. Thank you for always showing up. It means the world to me. Thank you, Tina. The same goes to you. Tina is one of the ones that kept working with me for a long time, showing up, keep on the path. And I'm just a mirror of you to all of you. If you resonate with me in some way, you're connected with me. We are just each other's support, friends on the path, on this soul journey. Natalie saying, you are the realest, baddest, most beautiful soul I know. Thanks for always being you. Natalie, thank you so much. Thank you. You're just the sweetest. Thank you. Thank you so much for showing up. It is so valuable to me. Thank you, Marika, for taking that. It's really important for me. It's thank you for sharing what you're doing, because of course it feels good for me to hear what you're saying. At the same time, what's more important for me is that it makes a difference, and that you can take something of what I share today and really apply it to your life, pay it forward. Thank you for sharing your truth, helping me get in touch with mine a little more each day. Yes, Melissa, and thank you for sharing. You know what I realized? I watched a movie the other day, and a young woman shared something on stage, a terrible story of hers. It was very challenging, and she invited anyone to stand up. And no one first stand up, and then one stood up and said, that happened to me too. And because this one person stood up, the other person stood up. That happened to me too. And so it kind of like made a little bit of a ripple effect. And people said like, oh, if you wouldn't have shared that, I wouldn't have dared to share my story. And I think this is so important. So if I can inspire you, invite you, or have a little bit more courage to understand that you matter, and that your story matters, and that you're here for a reason, and whatever reason that is. And just by you being existence, you're worthy and right. And you don't have to change. You can change for the improvement. I constantly work on myself. It's about expansion. It's about growth. I'm not going to stop growing now. I'm not going to stop doing the work. However, it's about being in that moment and realizing that who I am, with no matter how much weight, with no matter how my skin is, whatever I do, if I fuck something up or if I'm loving or not, that I am worthy, I matter, and so do you. And God knows who needs to listen to your story that might make a huge difference in their life. Thank you for being so genuine and authentic. Thank you. It's scary like shit sometimes. So I so appreciate you guys. I so appreciate you guys actually acknowledging me for it, because I can tell you it's not easy sometimes. Angel number 22, your message from the angels. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Vanessa. I love it. You're such an inspiration. Thank you for sharing your life with us. Thank you so much, Charisma. Am I saying that correct? I mean, Charisma is such an incredible, beautiful name, even though it's written differently. It's like Charisma. Heather, I'm that one person, so thank you. Oh, Heather, thank you. Oh, that really touches me. Thank you. Just for you, it was worth it. Barbara saying, keep sharing. You have helped me today while I'm moving and transitioning into a new way of living. Love you, Sonia. Thank you so much, Barbara. I can't tell you how much it means to me that you're here. And I still remember our meditation on the roof deck. We did it, Turks and Caicos. Darlene, Sonia, thank you for doing this show. I can so relate to your sensitivity to the world around us. I was struggling with following what someone else wants to do that I really do not wish to spend my money on time on. I would rather have a one-on-one experience with my falcons. Yes, I love it. Yes. Yes. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for being here with me today. If you're watching the replay and you made it so far, please do me a favor. Leave a comment below. Even if only to say that you have been watching it. If you don't want to share something personal, if you don't want to comment on anything, but let me know that you're there, because I'm doing this for you. And me knowing that this is valuable means everything to me. So tune in for a moment, take a nice deep breath. Let's connect together for a moment. Take a nice deep breath, bring your energy up. For those who have been working with me and you know what I'm talking about, bring your energy up, bring it up to your third eye. Open up the spaciousness here. Connect to the upper part of your third eye. Turn your inner eye up. And breathe up. Let yourself reach up to a higher consciousness, to a higher purpose, to your higher self, to your soul, and let the energy come up. Come from a higher place, from a higher perspective. And whatever is valuable to you today, tune into that. Whatever is maybe one word, one sentence, something that was valuable, let it sink in deeply. And ask yourself, how can I implement this today in my world? How can I apply this? What is one thing I can do today? Action, inspired action, that will anchor that for me, because it's so important. You not only want to fill yourself up with inspiration and with the knowledge and with the wisdom, you want to do something to transform it into action so that it really has a deeper impact. All right, so Sarah is saying, Sonia, your message is so valuable, I can relate. Thank you. Yeah, please keep putting comments in. Tell me what relates to you, like what specifically is helping you, so that I know what is helping you, so that I can be on that journey, even though I think I cannot not do it. So just do it if you feel like it. Let me know what's really resonating with you, what's relevant to you, what's the most valuable thing you're getting out of this. And I so invite you to join me again next Monday. I have no idea what we're going to talk about, and yet I know it's going to be important. So have a fantastic start to your week. Love yourself, honor yourself, trust yourself, and do the work to get you out and break free of that slavery of conditioning and programming, and get help if you need so. Okay? Much love. I love you. I support you. And I'm here for you. You are not alone. Much love.